Bonjour, hi. You're watching CanadaOne. My name is Matthew, and today we've got a lot to talk about. I know I've been a little late. I don't want to hear any complaining, okay? I was on vacation. We were working on a small video on one of our next videos, which is going to be about the phenomenon that is white boy summer and what does it mean culturally and what does it mean in terms of Canadian culture. But today, what we're really going to be talking about is not as much as, normal Canadian stuff that we normally go over, because there was some big news that has gone on over the weekend. That being Donald J. Trump, there was an assassination attempt. All right, and everyone, y'all already know this, okay? We already know the basic facts, but I think before we even get into any of that, I think the underlying issue and the most pressing, issue of all of this that came out of the Donald Trump assassination, and then if we learned a single thing about anything that's gone on, it is that women should not be allowed in the Secret Service. What do I mean by that? You can look up the picture of, I think it's a side picture where all the Secret Service members are jumping on top of Trump, protecting the president's life. And then right in the back, ducking down, hiding, is some woman Secret Service. The biggest issue is that, you can't have DEI in everything. You can't have diversity, equity, inclusion in every aspect, especially in things where, let's be honest, men have to do it. Men do it better. Because this is what happens. You need the absolute top. You need the absolute peak of people who are going to be there to protect probably the most important person in the world at the moment, being the United States president. And if you have people who cannot protect that person, you have big issues. The head of the Secret Service is some woman who worked at security, who was like the head of security at like Frito-Lay's. Okay, before protecting the president, she was protecting bags of Cheetos. That does not sound like a good idea for someone who should be protecting the president. But, that's neither here nor there. The picture that came out of all of this is probably the most historic picture you're going to be getting of the past 20 years, probably. The one where he puts up his fist. And I think what's truly hilarious that he gets shot in the ear, which, by the way, a miracle that he attributes to God, which I support because Christ definitely protected him in that situation. But, it's an absolute miracle that he wasn't murdered. If he had not turned his head literally a second before that gunshot was fired, he would have been dead. The path of that bullet would have gone straight into his head, right into his brain. But he turned at the last second, boom, straight into his ear. Then, he gets shot. They duck, get down, right? And then you can hear the footage. It's hilarious. He goes, let me get my shoes. But he almost gets next President Trump almost got assassinated. And his concern is, let me get my shoes. Then, he goes up, he goes, wait. Fight. Absolutely, beautiful. This is a man of the people. This is the man of the country. We can criticize Trump all we want, and I will be. I'll be criticizing him in just a minute. But we cannot say that this man does not lack, character or at least a devotion to his nation. Do you think Justin Trudeau would have done any of that? Do you think Justin Trudeau? And then the next day, go up to the Republican National Convention. You think, and he was also seen playing golf literally the next morning. Do you think Justin Trudeau gets shot in the ear and then goes plays golf the next morning? No. Why can't we have based presidents like this guy, okay? Anyway, so the shooter, Thomas Matthew Crooks, I've got a lot of issues with this main story, okay? Personally, what I think happened was that, the CIA, some globalist entity, the CIA, the FBI, or whatever, some inside government organization wanted this guy done for because he wants to pull out of the wars. He wants to stop the wars. He wants to, he's hinted at getting rid of certain government organizations, which obviously were never going to happen. But the second these organizations hear that either their funding is going to be cut or that they'll be shut down, just like JFK, who said he wanted to shut down the CIA and pull out of the wars, they don't like it. They don't like when that happens. Everyone's been saying that he's Jewish. Thomas Matthew Crooks was not Jewish. That was a conspiracy theory. In that case, it was actually just misinformation. That actually got me. But anyways, so let's read this article here. The FBI identified the shooter early Sunday as 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks. By the way, the police, they knew that there was some guy with a gun on the rooftop for at least 30 minutes. Not only that, but the guy who had the scope on him, who shot Thomas, he said that he had him in eyesight for at least 5 minutes and then got direct orders to stand down by the Secret Service and stand down. Now everyone's talking about how he's got that, that Jewish bracelet. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. It seems unlikely, but what seems even more likely, what seems, very possible is that the Secret Service told him, no, just stand down. Doesn't that seem odd? Why would they tell him to stand down? And even before that, you had just civilians telling police, there's a guy with guns climbing up this building. And by the way, to say that this guy was just like a bad shot, I don't think is right. He was 450 feet away. He had to be real accurate to get that. And it was just literally by the hand of God that Trump was able to move, literally by accident, just in time. So I think this guy was definitely, trained by somebody, definitely the CIA or someone like that. Law enforcement officer said he was armed with a semi-automatic AR-style rifle. Law enforcement sources say that the gun was legally purchased in 2013 and registered to the shooter's father, Matthew Crooks. Crooks was a 2022 graduate at Bethel Park High School. Former classmates say that he was a nerdy kid, but was very extroverted. All right. Some people were saying that, he was like that. He had the vibe of someone who would shoot up people. But Mark Sigafu, who graduated with Crooks and had 2 classes with him senior year, said he never saw him get bullied. He described Crooks as super smart and approachable, engaged in class, and always volunteering answers. Quote, "This is one thing that is being misconstrued. He was not some type of loner trench coat wearer, and I will say he was definitely nerdy for sure, but he never gave off that creepy or school shooter vibe. He seemed like he would never hurt a fly." And now people are going, well, look, he was a registered Republican. Yeah. He gave Crooks' political leanings are not immediately clear. He was a registered Republican voter in Pennsylvania, which what happens in Pennsylvania is that, he probably was there to vote for like Nikki Haley or someone like that. He probably wasn't there to vote for Trump. He was probably a never Trumper, obviously. And that's going to be a recurring theme that we're going to be talking about today. Never Trumpers. Records show he previously made a $15 donation to a Democratic-aligned group. Some people were saying he was Antifa. There was no indication that Crooks had connection to any military branch. He had a membership to a gun club. Anyways, and they also found bombs in his car. But what seems odd is that they got his phone. Okay, the FBI got his phone, but they're having trouble getting into it. Really? Really? Are we expected to believe that the FBI can't crack into someone's phone? That's the worst excuse you could have possibly given. You should have said the phone was destroyed. You could have said the phone was anything. Not that the FBI or any government organization can't get into this 20-year-old's phone who supposedly had almost no social media whatsoever despite being 20 years old. Really? Like, there's so much of this story that makes absolutely no sense and that seem very suspicious at the least. So, this whole thing. And now, here's I think the bigger issue. Obviously, this was probably an inside job. Obviously, somebody wanted Trump dead. Because here's what's going on. They can't get rid of Biden. Biden doesn't want to step down. They can't get rid of him. And it's way too close to the election to switch him out. So they're going, well, if we can't get rid of him, let's get rid of the other guy. Let's get rid of Trump. Seems much more plausible and seems much more real. They're saying investigators also have his cell phones that was sent to an FBI lab in Quantico, Virginia for analysis. Oh, but we can't unlock his phone. You've been spying. The government's been spying on people since like 2000, since 9/11. With the Patriot Act, they've been going through these people's phones all the time. You're telling me the FBI can't get into this 20-year-old kid's iPhone? Really? Please, CIA, I beg you, come up with a better story than this, because this is outrageous. And now here's what I'm predicting that the Democrats are going to be saying about it, is that either they're going to say it's staged, which I've heard a lot about. People have been telling me this. They're like, well, this seems probably staged. I'm like, one guy died, some firefighter in the crowd, which Destiny, this like retard streamer, okay, who's a cuck, by the way, he's like tweeting about these things. Haha, look at all these this retard got shot. This guy was a volunteer firefighter with like a family, okay? And you're calling this guy a retard. Anyways, he's getting a bunch of hate on it on X anyways, which I support. But people are saying it's staged. Or even other things people are telling me. They're like, well, if it was Joe Biden that was shot, you guys would all be saying it's staged or it's fake or it's whatever. Yeah, but one, he didn't get shot. Okay, so we don't know actually what we would do. Two, if he were to be shot, yeah, it would probably be either someone trying to replace him. Makes much more sense than trying to get rid of Trump. Trump, it makes a lot more sense to shoot him because he's so popular. He's so popular they can't get rid of Biden. Or, what I'm also looking for is that they're going to be going, well, this is why we need stricter gun controls. Okay, this is why, we need to start banning rifles. Which makes no sense. And I can't stand these, these people, these retards, okay? Oh, guns don't kill people, kill people. Shut up. I can't stand you. I want more guns. Has there ever been a school shooting where the teachers had guns? No, that's why all the kids are dead. Okay, because no teachers had guns, and it took 15 minutes for the police to come in, and even then, they were like dilly-dallying outside. Don't sue me for $1 billion, guys. Here's what people are saying now on X. Screenshot anyone who says anything about the assassination so that they can sue, or the assassination attempt, so they can sue them like they did for Alex Jones. Which I think is pretty funny, and I support it, by the way. But fundamentally, what this comes down to is get rid of women in the Secret Service. Because we need real competent men who actually are devoted to not only the president, but the country they serve, and not there to serve their own, I'm a girl boss. Shut up, bitch. Protect the president. Don't just hide behind. And you look like Shane Gillis, okay? Don't even. We all saw the picture. Anyway, so that was the Trump story. I didn't want to get too into that, but because everyone and their mother is talking about this. So I'm going to get into something that's a little bit more interesting, and that is Trump's vice president pick, which I was very unhappy to hear about. J.D. Vance. the newbie senator from Ohio, who's supposedly this based Christian family man. Okay, let's get a few things straight with JD Vance, okay? He's married to some Indian woman, and this supposedly America First guy, this based trad man, family man, he named his kids Vivek, okay? Vivek, Ewan, and Mirabelle. Yeah, this guy seems like he really loves American values. Names his kids Vivek. Marries to an Indian woman. Not only that, he's fat. This guy is literally chunky as shit. Get this man on Ozempic or something. We can't have, presidents and vice presidents or heads of states who are fat like this guy. He's like chunky as shit. All right? That was just a joke, but, you get the point. Not only, this guy in 2016, JD Vance, all right? He's literally said, and there are interview quotes all around, he's a never Trumper. He goes, yeah, I'm a never Trumper. And then in 2016, he goes to vote for a literal CIA agent. These are, this is who we're supposedly getting. I thought it was Make America Great Again, people. I didn't know it was Cuck America again. This is outrageous. You get this never Trumper guy who literally equated Trump. He goes, he is the new Hitler. And now all of a sudden, I love Trump. I love, all these things. It's like, I thought we were supposed to have these loyal people. And in light of this assassination attempt, you're telling me that you're going to bring someone who hasn't always been loyal to you? I literally don't understand. Trump's cabinet is going to be as cooked as it was in 2016. That's why he was never able to build a wall. That's why he wasn't able to get anything that he promised done, any of his base takes done. It's because everyone around him was a bunch of cuck establishment Zionist retards. Not only that, we could keep going with this guy, JD Vance, okay? He's funded completely by Peter Thiel. These guys, he got $10 million from Peter Thiel, the Jewish billionaire Democrat mega donor who just recently switched on a Trump side after Trump goes, we'll staple green cards to anyone who graduates college. So much for closing the border. And then JD Vance does his first televised appearance on some news site, I don't know, MSNBC or Fox News. The first thing he talks about is not immigration. He doesn't talk about poverty or whatever. He goes, we need to hit Iran as hard as we can. I thought Trump was about ending the wars. I didn't know it was about unrelenting love for Israel. Can we please have based Republicans or based conservatives that aren't literally jerking it for Israel? Is that so hard to ask anybody? He goes, we need to bomb Iran even harder. I'm like, I thought the whole point was to get out of the Middle East and stop spending American taxpayer dollars. You think this guy's going to stop immigration? No, it goes exactly with the policy platform that the new moderate, not even based Trump is doing now. Where they're trying to, get rid of the illegals, which they won't deport a single one. They're not going to deport a single illegal. They're not going to build a wall. And in fact, they're just going to let in more Indians and more Chinese legally through the college system. So you thought you were getting, and I still understand. I genuinely don't understand how people, liberals, especially left-wingers, don't like Trump anymore. Because he's literally the most moderate candidate. This guy's more moderate than Obama was. And Obama, he was completely anti-gay. Obama didn't want to let gay marriage through. Now Trump is totally fine with that. Trump has like the most moderate abortion take in history. And like the Democrats are attacking him on that. He's disavowed Project 2025, which was like the only glimmer of based hope that we could have possibly had. He's disavowed it 3 times because that's the only thing the left's attacking him on. Any singular, barely conservative ideology that Trump could possibly have has been absolutely squashed for moderatism, right? I thought we were supposed to get a base guy who was anti-abortion. Nope. Can't even get that. Now we're getting the same thing all over again. They've got a vice president who took the trip to Israel and touched the wall, who has a Indian wife and named their kids Vivek and Iwan. Yeah, so much for based conservatives. Let's go Republican Party. They got me all riled up. We got a never Trumper as the vice president for Donald Trump. But at least he's better than Kamala Harris. Is he? Is he really? At least Kamala Harris is incompetent. This guy's going to be the most competent guy to send more money to Israel. These neocons, I don't understand how people keep supporting this. Everyone's supporting this, and they're like, only anti-Semites hate J.D. Vance. It's not about anti-Semitism. It's about, maybe I thought it was America First values. You know, I thought it was putting American people first. I didn't know it was all this other bullshit. Funded by tech billionaires who wanted to bring in more legal immigration so they can suppress wages and not pay Americans. They could have talked about reindustrialization, bringing back jobs to Appalachia, maybe stopping fentanyl, maybe getting rid of the illegals, maybe a billion other things. But no, the first thing this guy talks about is supporting Israel and fighting Iran. Yeah, bring us to World War III. Please, please, I beg you. And then this brings me into the Republican National Convention, the RNC, which had its first day yesterday. And what a shit show. You want to talk about the fall of the Republican Party? These people, I was gagging. It was disgusting. They had Mexicans or like some Hispanic woman who barely spoke English. Oh yes, my family, America is so good. These fucking people. Not only did they have some Hispanic woman, this was literally worse than this is as bad as the Democrat, you know. You want to talk about DEI or like pandering to immigrants. They thought Pierre Poilievre was bad. The Republican National Convention was disgusting. So they got these people. Then they get Amber Rose on, who literally has a face tattoo. She's the organizer of something called the Slut Walk. Okay. America is the land of opportunity. Bitch, just start an OnlyFans. Nobody wants to hear this shit. I thought the Republican Party were trad conservatives. No, this is all to pander to these fucking boomers. Okay, these old white boomers. What they love to hear is that America's not racist, right? And that's why they put up 5 different black guys who are well-spoken in red ties, right? And they go up, America's the least racist nation on the planet, you know? And these boomers are like getting hard from that. They love it. Then, we can keep going. It gets worse, you know? They bring on a bunch of union Teamster guys, because that's the support they need in Michigan and a lot of these automotive states, Detroit. And one of the guys is a literal socialist. What's going on, people? The Republican National Convention, and you got a socialist union guy talking about how we need to protect workers' rights. Yeah, maybe stop the immigrants coming in. Maybe that'll help, the workers' rights. Maybe that'll help with housing costs. The pandering was disgusting. And then to cap it all off, at the end, after one of the only priests that go up and says an actual prayer to Jesus Christ, the actual, because Christianity is a founding religion and is the founding ideology of not only America but Canada and most of Europe. Right after they have some priests go on, they have some brown woman who goes up and goes, I don't even know what the fuck their god is called. I think she's some Sikh woman. She puts on a headscarf. She goes, when we pray, we got to put on the headscarf. She puts on the fucking headscarf and then speaks some foreign language. And everyone's there like, oh, yeah. And then she goes, whatever the fuck the Pajit god's name is, okay? And she goes, our one true savior. And then she says the prayer in English. And nobody blinks an eye. And then they clap afterwards. They clap. They go, wow, the diversity of the Republican Party. We don't want to be racist. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's the issue. Trump isn't based. Trump is a cuck. Trump is, we love Trump. We loved him. But these people are disgusting. They're degenerates. It was supposed to be about traditional values, and you bring up Amber Rose. What happened? They want to say that, the Republican Party's different. No, it's the exact same party as the Democrats. There was this thing I saw where it was like, the Republicans are just the Democrats 10 years later, 15 years later. Yeah. Because now the Republicans are as bad as Obama was. Anyways, that convention riled me up. That got me extremely angry because it was pandering on pandering. You thought the pandering was going to end. No, it doesn't end. Obviously, it's because Trump has this need to be liked by everybody, and he sees the gains he's making in the black community and the Hispanic communities, which again, it's not that meaningful. Well, at some point it will be, because America will be completely brownified within the next 10 years. The Great Replacement is real, people. The white genocide is happening. So Trump has this, I think he has this need to be liked by so many people, and he desperately wants to shake off this racist, this name, this tag they put on him, this racist. So he's doing all this shit, and he's supporting all this bullshit at the Republican National Convention, listening to this woman pray in some foreign language. They should genuinely, this should be the new policy. Ban every other language besides English in America. In Canada, ban them all except for French, English, and maybe like 5 indigenous languages. That's it. It's very simple. If you come to these countries, you speak the languages. I don't want to hear any of this other bullshit, okay, where these Pajeets are fucking talking. I can't stand it anymore. You come to this country, you speak our goddamn languages. And now, okay, so this really ties in perfectly. For the first time in probably 6 months, I go to Walmart because I've been boycotting and avoiding all non-Canadian businesses for the past, 6 months. And I go there for the first time because someone else was shopping. I was just following along. And it was genuinely the most disgusting experience I've had in a very long time. I was appalled by the lack of quality. I was appalled by how dirty everything was, how the people looked, how the people dressed, how the people spoke, the people that were actually there. First of all, there were no white people. And by the way, okay, I live in a city that's like quite white. Okay, at least 70% white. The 3 white guys that I saw were these fat Discord mods buying Mountain Dew and Doritos. Okay, I swear to God, these were the only white people I saw. Everyone else were these like fat black women, these like humongous fat black women who had literal trays of ramen that they were getting. Not a single pack. The entire tray that had like 50 packs on them at a time. Then you had these Mexican kids running around with their mom, all speaking Spanish. And then you had all these like Indian families with a billion kids as well, also not speaking English or French, speaking in, in whatever language they speak, with their kids running around, and these people just, they're like in sandals. Okay, I can't. These people are in like tank tops and sandals. It's outrageous. All right, and then worst of all, the prices at Walmart, because you assume that you go to Walmart, you get good prices. The prices aren't even cheap anymore. It's all unbelievably expensive. They went to go get sunscreen, okay? The bottle of sunscreen was $15. What has happened? What has happened? And then right next to it, the aisles for the makeup section are all blocked off. They have an employee roaming the 5 aisles, like half aisles, of makeup. And then you go inside the aisles. Each individual thing that's over $5 is literally locked up, and you have to get the employee to unlock it for you. This is San Francisco all over again. This is unacceptable. You used to be able to go shopping, and you used to be able to understand what people are talking to you. All of the employees were middle-aged Indians. No joke. No joke. They could call me racist. I'm just pointing it out. They were all middle-aged Indians. Half of them were obese. I couldn't stand it. The decline of what's happened. These companies, these American companies come in, destroy all the local businesses, destroy all the mom and pop shops, the local grocer, the butcher, the boulangerie. They destroy all these things because it's cheaper, right? They gain a monopoly over the region. Then the stores gets dirty, gets overrun with these immigrants, these migrants, because they're there for a good deal. Then all the employees are Pajeets. Okay? And now all the Canadians suffer. That's what's been going on. That's the country we live in. Oh, people always tell me, they go, oh, all that stuff you're seeing is just online. Go look, go touch grass and go see what's actually going on. I've been out there. It's worse. It's worse out there than what's been going on my phone. All right? I go outside. You used to be able to walk outside and be able to nod at people. You smile. You go, hi, how's it going? Now, these people don't even speak the language. And everyone's going to attack me. They're going, whatever the fuck. I don't care anymore. This is an existential crisis. This country is in a crisis. America is in a crisis. We've become degenerate. We've become weak. Traditional values are gone. The base conservatards are fucking left-wing gays. All right? Yeah, we support gay marriage and abortion. What happened, everybody? What happened? I thought you guys were against abortions. I thought you were all under, Christian values. Guess not. Guess we love, guess we're under Jewish Hindu rule. That's a joke, everybody. That's a joke. Okay. The final story of today is one that, I think it's a feel-good story. It's a feel-good story. And this comes straight from Italy about Dior and Armani. You might have heard about this. A recent report came out that Dior, the luxury handbag maker and the luxury clothing maker under the LVMH parent corporation, the Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy Corporation, who sells these expensive handbags that women love. They go fucking crazy for these handbags, these $3,000 handbags. What the report found was that the suppliers that they're using to make these handbags are the prices are a little cheaper than what you'd expect. It cost Dior $58 to make a handbag that they were selling for $2,780. $58 for a handbag that's $2,800. Now, listen. Shout out to Dior, okay? That's hilarious. You were able to scam all these people? Good job. Same thing with Armani. They're spending $100 for a handbag that's $1,900. Hey, these guys are good at business, okay? We have to give them a shout. Credit where credit is due. They're good at business. If you could get something off of Alibaba and send it to some American housewife for literally 1,000 times the price, you deserve to make that money. You deserve it. But this is just to show that, nothing. We can't even have quality anymore. Our buildings look like shit. Our clothing looks like shit. Everybody's on OnlyFans. Everyone's a whore. We've lost any sense of decency. Everyone's a degenerate porn addict who plays Fortnite and drinks Doritos and Mountain Dew. Everyone's obese. Okay, and everyone's literally retarded. These normies are literally retarded. And they're buying these women are buying these handbags. And they're like, wow, look at me flaunt my wealth. Chinese illegals that slept in the factory in Italy. Again, what Dior did was they got over these illegals, okay, these illegal immigrants from China, put them in the factory in Italy, had a Chinese firm subcontract them in Italy just so that they can get the word made in Italy. They forced these migrants to sleep and live in the factories so that they can be on call 24/7, paid them like $2 a day, and made a handbag for $58 and then turned around and sold it for nearly $3,000. This is the level. And you think that this isn't happening everywhere? You think big businesses in Canada, in America, and Europe aren't using illegals and aren't, helping this illegal migration crisis or even this legal migration crisis to get cheap labor? Everyone's saying, well, inflation's going to go up. Good. I don't care if inflation goes up. Get these people out. Give true Canadians, true Americans, true Europeans real wages and not just pay these immigrants or these illegals next to nothing because their country's so shit they had to leave, or they got trafficked essentially to leave to go make twice as much as they would have made, which is 10 times cheaper than what the average Canadian or American will make. This is what's happening in every single industry. In fast food, it's happening. It's happening in any manufacturing firm. First it was offshoring. Now, all the politicians are like, well, we have to bring back the jobs to America and Canada. So they're like, okay, we'll do that. And we'll bring the illegals with us. It's like with all those automotive factories that we're building in Canada, all these new EV plants that they're using South Koreans to not only build, but to then work in. Canadians don't get any benefits. Nobody gets benefits. Get benefits? The illegals. Anyways, that's all I have for today. As usual, I want everyone to keep fighting. And most importantly, stay Canada first. Stay CanadaOne. Thank you.